Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming a book haul. These are the books that I purchased over the holiday break. I'm really excited about these. Half these I purchased from Barnes & Noble while I was home, and then the other half I purchased from a used bookstore. I'll start with the ones from the used bookstore. The first one that I purchased from the used bookstore is John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. It's a very short novella novel type thing. And I'm really excited to read this. Obviously, it's very well known, very popular. I'm excited. The next book I purchased is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. This is one that I remember hearing the title. Like, it stood out to me because I remember the title, if that makes sense, obviously, right? And this is about Charlie Gordon, who has a really low IQ. He ends up getting an experimental surgery to up his IQ, and it works and he gets really smart, I guess. Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting story. Okay, the next one is The Meryl Streep Movie Club by Mia March. I have no idea if this is going to be any good. I think it's the same author. Yeah, it's the same author that does the that did the Jane Austen book club. I don't know if it'll be good. I hadn't read the Jane Austen book club, so maybe that's a bad thing. But I love Meryl Streep. I've seen a lot of her movies, so if nothing else, just to be able to read this and get the references, I think it'll be, I don't know, it'll be fun. Okay, the next one is Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple. Again, this is one that a lot of these through BookTube and whatever else I hear about, and recommendations, like personally, you know, whatever, I hear people, you know, talking about it, and I make a list of books that I want to buy, and the list is literally like 50 books long. It's ridiculous. So they're titles that, like, obviously whenever they're described to me, I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I make a note of it, and by the time I get it, I usually don't remember what it's about. Basically, that's what happened with this novel, which isn't necessarily helpful to you guys, but I bought this. Okay, the next book I bought, it's without a sleeve, but it's Collected Poems of Emily Dickinson. So just a bunch of poems by Emily Dickinson. I've read a few of her poems and studied a few of them, and I liked them, so might as well get a collection. But yeah, so I've got this one. Those are all the books from the used bookstore. And now I went to Barnes & Noble, and they had a special going on where it was buy two, get the third one free. So they had a huge table with a bunch of selected books that would qualify for that sale. The first one, Into the Wild by John, oh my gosh, I don't know how to say his last name, Cracker? I've seen the movie, I love the movie, I love Emil Hirsch, so good. I wanted to read the novel because hopefully it has more insight on the movie and on what actually happened, and the inside thoughts of, who was it, Chris McCandless? Okay, the next one I bought because of BookTube. It was on the table, but it's The Night Circus by Morgenstern. Oh, it's The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I don't know how many booktubers I've watched, and they've all raved about this. I think I've seen like one where it's like, oh yeah, it's good, but it's not necessarily worth like the massive hype. But other than that, like, even so, that person, I don't even remember who it was, but even so, like, that person said it was good. It's just, you know, don't go way too, you know, don't expect too much out of it, which is a fair thing to say about really anything, I think. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this and get more relevant in my reading. I am kind of the opposite of BookTube. I'm very much, at least like in my opinion of what I've seen, I definitely read popular novels, but they're more of like things that are a little bit older, and I want to get more, not relevant, but more updated novels. Get more into newer novels and stuff like that, so hopefully this will help. Okay, the next book I purchased was The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. I'm terrible with names. This was a book that in one of my American Lit classes, we were split up into like book club, book groups or whatever, and one of the groups did this one, My Grave Beloved, which I really recommend. You guys, everyone should read it. I think it's amazing. And if you guys want to hear me talk more about it, you can go see the best books I've ever read. I'll link that down below. I stand by that. I'm really proud of that video. Even though part of the footage was lost, oh my god, I'm so sad about. Anyways, tangent. Okay, so yeah, I want to read this because it sounded really good and it sounds important. So, okay, the next one I bought because of the cover. And it is The Last Days of Night by Graham Moore. I haven't heard anything about this. I don't think. Maybe I have. But yeah, the cover looks beautiful. Reading the back, it's a book about Thomas Edison and the patent for electricity, I think. We'll see. Okay, and then again, if you've seen my best books I've ever read, even though this part of the footage was cut off, and that was like the Lord of the Rings books are part of the best books I've ever read, I bought, I'm gonna butcher this name, the Silmarillion? Oh my gosh, by J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm so excited to read this. This is the only book I've not read that's part of that world, and I think I've been like holding out because I just I don't want to have read everything. Like, you know how when you finish a book that, like when you get to the end of the book and you don't want it to end, so you don't want to finish it. That's like what it is. I didn't want to read this last novel in that world. But I'm really excited to have this, and I just can't wait to like get back into this nerdy, fun world. Yeah, I'm so excited. Hopefully I'll get to this soon. With that being said, I wanted to let you guys know that I do have some reading goals for this year, and that is to read 50 books. With that, I counted before I even bought any of these books, before I left, I have over 50 books on my TBR, on the shelves behind me, to be read. So I am going to go on a no-buy for 11 months until this December. I don't need to buy any more books. I just don't. I have too many. I love buying, well, and the exception is school books, because obviously, but I don't need any more books. I have too many. I get so excited and I want to buy so much, and everything on the bookshelves behind me are very inspiring, but I need to drop it. I need to stop for a little bit. I need to get through the books that I have, and that way, whenever I do buy these books, I can get to them faster. And not to mention, I have a library right down the street, so I need to start using that because I can, and it's a resource that I should take advantage of, and everyone should take advantage of, honestly. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. It's kind of a weird end to this haul, but thank you guys so much for your time as always. If you have any recommendations to me, I know I'm not buying anything for a while, for about 11 months, but I still want to hear if you guys have any recommendations, because I will get off the no-buy, so I'm just always interested in hearing what you guys have to say. So if you have any recommendations for books for me, please let me know. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day. Bye.